Hello everyone, my name is Loide Ndemueda and I am 23 years old. I am originally from Bilabila in a village called Fengekral. I have two brothers older than me and both parents. So I grew up in Fengekral, little village just outside Bilabila, and I went to Fengekral Secondary School, but I graduated my matric in Greenside High School. So today I'm just here to share my experience of what happened to me. As everybody can see, I'm scarred. So I need to tell you why I always say I found beauty in my scars. How did they happen? So in 2010, on the 13th of July, I and 16 other children were intentionally burned. How did this happen? So this Fengekral land is very valuable to those who understand the value of land, and we had a neighbor who had a lodge. This man wanted to extend his lodge to make more profit, because business people are profit orientated. He made all the means plans to force remove us from the land by having the mayor to have fake RDP papers. Some of the people moved from Fengekral and we were the ones who remained in the land. Unfortunately, this man failed to remove us from the land. However, him failing took a lot of other kids' lives. So on the 13th, after school, just after FIFA World Cup, we were walking, wanting to go to church, but because when situations are meant to be part of your life or they're part of your journey, you can never avoid them. And the rumor has it that this man wanted to kill the parents because he thought the parents are the ones who are going to come to their controlled fire. But unfortunately, Jesus has said, bring the innocent kid to me. So my little sister saw smoke when we were on our way to church. We were at my friend's house. And I said to her, well, we have to go to church. We never attend controlled fires. Only to find out that it was not actually a controlled fire. When we got there, there was not any fire, and we were on our way back from the field. As we were walking, we see two men behind us, who one of them was carrying what seemed to be a fire extinguisher, which is red. They had whatever conversation they had, and then one of them started following us with that fire extinguisher gas we thought he had. He started following us, and my little sister said, this man is following us, and every time we try to run, he's also running. The atmosphere just started changing. The clouds was running. It seems like it's gonna rain. It became so windy. So we started being scared and started running. As we look back, this man went to cut the electric fence at the bottom, and he carried on running after us. We started screaming. As we started screaming, he came and sprayed us with the poisoned gas, and we saw ourselves in flames, and we assumed he escaped from the electric fence that he cut. As we were burning, guys, it was horrible. We were in flames. We couldn't escape. We couldn't see anything. We are screaming and handing ourselves to God. And as we try to escape through the electric fence, it hits us back into the fire, and we burned for more than 20 minutes with no one helping us. And somehow, God always has a mercy. We managed to escape. Well, I and my friend managed to escape through that electric fence because somebody who had a heart turned off the electric fence. As we escaped, the fire was still coming toward us, because that's where the wind was going. But when I escaped, I could hear my little sister screaming, calling my mom's name, and it was difficult for me to move on, and I want to go back, but I couldn't go back because the fire was coming after me. Then I stood there screaming and asking God to save her for me, and it was the most horrific time of my life. Looking at my skin, it was peeling. I was so dark. Everything, when I'm stepping on the floor, the skin is on my feet, it's actually remaining on the ground. And we started running, seeing the houses, because all we wanted was water. So we seen houses from far away, and we thought we were gonna find help there. As we kept running, we found this man with the contractors. They were putting off the fire that was coming into his lodge, and we asked him, can we please have water? And we are screaming and we're in pain. And this man said to those contractors that, you guys let them die, you don't know what happened, leave them, put this fire off because I don't want my creatures to die. And I got hurt horribly because those words still are into my head, because he wanted his creatures to be alive but human beings to die. It was very horrific of him and heartless. So this was the same man who started the fire saying that. And just to clarify this guy was a white man. And we kept running for help because this man refused for other black guys to help us. He was making them work to put down the fire to not kill his creatures. We ran and ran, but as we ran toward those houses, they're actually fading away because they were on the top and there was another electric fence dividing them. But because God always has mercy on us, we found other contractors who were willing to help us. And one of them said, guys, let's help these kids before this man sees us. They made us lie down, they took off their jackets, they put black plastic bags on us, and we were screaming, saying, we just want water, we want water. And I kept saying to them, go and save my little sister, she's still screaming in the fire. These people asked another lady, who was a white lady, to bring us water, and when she came driving a white buggy, she said, let me go and fetch water before this man sees me using his car to save these children. And she came quickly, and she was on the other side of the fence, and she threw the water bottles inside. And these guys, literally, they were so emotional. It was the most terrible thing they've ever seen in their lives. Seeing other black kids suffering in pain, change of color because of the poison, and just with little breath. So people started screaming, and the community started coming because they had people screaming, saying their kids are burning. I remember my friend's mom came, and we were swelling. We couldn't see anybody anymore, and all we wanted was water. When the mother came, she just fainted really, because she couldn't see which one is her kid, and the kids are covered with plastic bags. What does that mean? It means the kids are gone, they died. We're not saying anything. We're covered in black plastic bags. And I remember my brother, who, not the firstborn, the younger one, came, and he was just shocked to see his little sisters in this situation. But they managed to call the ambulances. When they came to pick us up, they took quite a while to come. When they came to pick us up, that was the last time some of the people, like my little sister, who have said goodbyes to the community, the last time they were seen, it was in a coffin because of a greediness of a white man. We went, I remember when we got by the gate, they opened the ambulances because some of the people wanted to come with us to the hospital, and the tears in the communities were unbearable. And we went to Bilabela Hospital. When we got there, I remember they were cutting off our clothes, and when they were cutting these clothes, it's coming off with the skin because it was stuck with the skins. It was so painful to bear. But again, I never wish anybody could have gone through this situation. And I remember, I think we only slept there one night or two. When we were screaming, we were just so thirsty. We wanted water, and these nurses were so rude. They would just sit there and say we're making noise. I mean, a child will not just scream for help if they're not helpless. And they were just not nice. So they transferred us to Mankweng Hospital. But now we were so swollen, we couldn't see anything. And here our parents are crying and just praying that we be good. Because in my life, I've never been burned. I mean, if we're just burned by little matches or a pot, it's so painful. So imagine being burned your whole body. When we go to Mankweng, we were put in a ward. First, that was the start of life for me, because we can't see the sun. We were stuck in this ward with bandages. Those bandages became our everyday clothes, and it was so painful to see some of the nurses who were just so rude. I remember when I was screaming, crying for help, this woman came over and literally hit me on my face, and my face was badly burnt, saying that we're making noise. And it just made sense how this man seemed to have sent people to come and finish us off in hospital, because there's no way you get into hospital and everybody is just trying to put you in more pains, yet you are already in pain. So we were, and then they changed us in another ward. And I remember this other night I was just in tears and wanting to die. Why should I go through so much pain? Then I started praying so loud. I prayed for so long, and some of the nurses came and joined in the prayer. From there, some of the nurses became nice, but it was, I think it was one of the night shift nurses. So they joined in the prayer, and they actually became really kind. So it was time for us to now go for dressings. They have to change us every 2 days. Dear God. So I couldn't walk. I'm on a wheelchair. The fire, the healing of the fire is actually really terrible. It was smelling like, I don't know how the visitors handled it, but maybe it's just because it's your relatives, you have to deal with the smell. So they had this other nurse. I will always scream when they have to go and change me, because some of them, they're not nice. They just pull the bandages off. When they pull it off, it's coming off with the skin, it's bleeding, everything. And she threw me from a wheelchair into the tap, into the bath. And when she threw me into the bath, I hit my head. It was painful. I was crying, screaming God's name and my mom's name. I always wanted to be with my mom. So in that bath, there is spirits, there is something called betadine, there is every sort of painful chemical. Your whole body is naked with pink wounds. It was so painful. And then you have this rude nurse who's pulling off the bandages and shouting at you to not make noise. For me, it was really, really, really painful and uncalled for of those people to be so rude. I mean, if any person's child is in that situation, the least you could do is be kind, because you applied for a specific occupation, because you care. Anyway, as we were healing, I remember going for my first operation, and I think God has chosen me to survive out of this, because a lot has happened in hospital. We were meant to die. This man didn't want to leave any weakness. So I went for theater, and when you go to theater, you have to be like naked. You can't wear anything. When I go to the operating theater, the moment they had to put a mask on me, the electricity just went off. And I was like, at first I thought it was just me having bad luck, but now that I think about it, it was God saving me from a lot. Then they had to send me back to the ward. And when my mom was coming to visit me, it was the first time she saw me with open wounds. She was in tears, although she didn't want me to cry as well. She saw my hands were badly contracted. This whole thing was here. The bones were out because of the poison and the electric fence, and also the carelessness of the hospital, because I didn't get physio at the beginning, at the early age. So I think I went to operating theater for 3 times, and the same thing kept happening. Then as I was sleeping, my only heater in the whole ward, I think there were 6 of us in the ward, the heater busted into a fire, and I jumped off the bed. I can't walk. I'm tightened with bandages. I was screaming. The nurses came. They tried to make us escape. Then they removed me from that ward and put me into a new ward. So one of my friends, who has unfortunately passed away, the last time I saw her, we were in the same ward, and they came without even starving her or anything, because when you go in for theater, you get told, and you get all these bands on your wrist, and they tell you that don't eat from 7 o'clock to whatever time at night. But they never did anything like that. So they came in the morning and they were like, oh, you're going for theater, And we're like, just like that. And they're like, yes, she's going to theater. And I remember asking her, can I please eat your Viennas that your mom gave you? She's like, yes, you can have them. Bye-bye, see you tomorrow. That was the last goodbye I ever gotten from her. So as we kept waiting for her, she's not arriving. And I kept asking my parents when they come to visit, that where is my friend? Since they said they're going to have her operated, she never came back. So my parents had to lie to me and said she's in Cape Town, she's having the best medical treatment. Then I was like, okay, so why are her parents not visiting the brother who's on the other ward? They're like, oh, also the brother is not there. Oh, it was very painful, guys, because all this time they're telling me even your little sister is going to be transferred to Pretoria Hospital. Last time I saw my sister, I went to her with a physiotherapist who just decided that maybe I need to see the sun. I haven't seen outside. I was only inside this building. I don't even know how Mankweng looks outside until today. So she took me to my sister's ward, which was the Benz unit. When I got there, I bursted into tears because she was just so yellow, pinkish, and bandaged. I don't know what was going on. And she was like to me, no, I'm healing, I'm okay. And I think they only gave me 2 minutes to see her. I felt like I was in prison. Then last word she said to me was that I think the 2 girls who were sleeping next to me have passed away. And I was like, you are only 9 years old, what do you know about death? I don't think they passed away, maybe they went for operating theater. She's like, you think so? I'm like, yeah. She's like, but they fetched them in some bags. I'm like, oh, that must be very horrible. Then when I went back to the ward, my parents and other people have come to see us, and I asked them, oh, my little sister says those 2 girls who were sisters, they passed away. And my mom said no, they looked at each other in fact, and they're like, no, they didn't pass away, they just transferred them to another hospital. So these are 10 children that are dying every day. No one has the result of the cause of their death. Fine. My mom stopped coming around September to see me in hospital at some point. My brother and my aunts came to see me, and I asked them, why is my mom not coming? And they said, oh, she's visiting your sister in Pretoria. The less I knew about this death, the better. They kept lying to me and saying, yo, everybody's healing fine, people are waiting for you at home. Then I get discharged around December. I remember calling my dad saying I got discharged, and he said, I hope you didn't force those nurses or doctors to discharge you because you are not well. Maybe you just want to come home because you think other kids are at home. So I'm like, no, they just told me that I'm waiting for the ambulance to take me to Bilabila Hospital. When I got to Bilabila Hospital, I didn't really stay for long. I think it was only for 2 days for examinations and to ensure that I'm fit to go home. I went home. It was painful to be at home because it was so hot. I'm bandaged, the flies are everywhere. Now everybody's coming to see how I am, and some of them, you know, in communities, some people just want to witness if you're really alive to come and finish you off, because a lot of people were happy that some of us got burned. There were speculations and all that, but I only believe that the only doctor that I have in life is God. So sitting at home now, reality kicks in. I was all light but full of bandages, and now I have to deal with the eyes of the people, the talks, the negativities, and people bao hatelang. Around December, I was healing from home and getting my bandages changed by the community nurses until July 2011. That's when I found out that other kids have passed away, including my little sister, because it seems like they had to do some kind of memorial event. So one morning I was sitting, my mom passed me and she was like, I need to sit down and tell you something. And I was like, what is that? Because I kept asking all this months, I want to go and visit my little sister. Can you at least phone her? They're like, no, she's not allowed to talk and all. So she sat down and told me that, you know, that God always remove people you love from you, right? I'm like, yes, what do you mean? And she said, all the other kids that you are not seeing here today, they all passed away. We had months of burying all these innocent souls, including your little sister. She died, I think, just after her birthday in September. She birthdays on the 10th of September. I birthday on the 9th of September. And I was alarmed, shaken, and my response was not what my mom was expecting. I think she was expecting me to be crying and screaming, but I didn't accept what she had said. So I was like, oh, okay, you said 10 kids died. She said yes. Then she said, I'm coming back now. I'll talk to you through it when I come back. So when she left me in the house, I was counting all these names, excluding my little sister, but the number was not adding up. My little sister should be the 10th person. And I said, no, this can't be. I want to see these graves. When they took me to the graveyard, I broke down. I was emotionally weak. Seeing those graves and crosses on those in that graveyard, of the potentials of this, or we buried potentials in that graveyard, because all of them, they were young people that had dreams, the kids of parents that only had 2 children and they had to bury them in one day. I had to recover now from my wounds and emotionally from the loss of my beloved ones, my little sister and my friend and her brothers and everybody else who passed away in that fire. So then when she came back, she started telling me who died first. One of the guys died in Bilabila hospital, was the first guy to die. Then Khwalatela, some boy also. And it was just, I just told her, you know what, it's okay, I don't want to hear it anymore. Because then she says to me, well, after the little sister's funeral, some women went on telling people that you are also dead. So I get your aunt coming back to me saying, why are you still quiet when your child has passed away? And she's like, which child now? The older one, Lloyd, passed away. People are coming here crying, telling everybody that Lloyd passed away. And my mom asked my brother to phone the hospital, and because they never got any phone call from a hospital. And they said, no, Loide is here. Loide is not, there's nothing wrong with her. When I had that, I just realized that, okay, so a lot of people were actually happy burying other children's children, and they think it's our fault or we deserve it. But it's okay, because situations never choose. Any specific time, any given time, anything can happen to anyone. But at that current moment, we had to accept that my family was affected and other families were affected, and it was painful. So people making up such horrible stories when my mom was on a mattress and wearing black clothes, mourning her child and praying for me to heal, it was just so unhuman. I can't eat. I'm always thinking, I had this trauma. I will be screaming at night seeing this man following us. I remember one time I was going for checkup at Bilabila hospital, and when I was sitting by the ShopRite tree, I see this man, the same man, with a white bikie, and that white bikie was full of men with guns, and I thought they were coming to finish me off or something, because they literally parked opposite where I was. And I just started praying, because I was like, God, this is the man who did this to us, and he's walking freely and he's protected by other women, I mean other human beings with guns. But I believe that my protection is only from him. I don't need a gun to be protected. All the angels are around me, and the kids that died, my friend and my little sister and other children, are protecting me right now, because I was chosen to be a witness and to speak on behalf of them, because now they've been silenced. That day I couldn't sleep. So then I had to go to Karankwa hospital to find a plastic surgeon or an orthopedic doctor to fix my hands. My parents went through so much. In fact, everybody who was close to me would wake up at 4 in the morning, go to Karankwa to just get a no that there's no doctor who's capable of doing that. Now I'm saying, Mama, every other survivor is admitted at Ga-Rankuwa getting their surgery. My life is stuck. I'm not going to school. There's nothing happening. There's nothing good happening in my life. Why? I'll cry every day. Went back again to Ga-Rankuwa. They like, we're admitting you. They said, doctor, I'm excited. Yo, my hands are gonna be fine. I'm gonna start writing now. I got admitted. I slept there for 2 nights or 1 night. They tell me you're discharged. The doctor is not here. He's in Cape Town. I was like, yo, so there's only one doctor who can do these operations, but every other survivor is in Ga-Rankuwa getting those operations. Who's operating on those survivors? I never get answers. I was like, you know what, I have to focus on my healing right now. If I'm going to be disabled for the rest of my life, I will ask God to at least be able to do stuff. I'm on a wheelchair. I'm changing bandages every day by the community staff, which I'm really grateful for. They did a really great job. So last time I went back again, they admitted me. And when they admitted me, they were like, yeah, tomorrow you're going to theater. Tomorrow morning they come here, they're like, oh, you are discharged. There's no K wires for your operation. You need some special wires. I'm like, what is a K wire? They're like, it's some wires that have to make to keep your hands straight, because my hands were like this. I couldn't do anything. Then these other people, physiotherapists, came to do an outreach in our community, and they used to change our bandages and give us what you call pressure garments to keep the scars so we don't have keloids. Then one of the physiotherapists was like, in fact, occupational therapy, I think, yeah. She was like, her name is Jennifer, and I really appreciate her effort. She helped me so much. So she was like, yo, you are the only person who's not getting surgery done. Stop crying, we'll find a solution. She disappeared for like, I think, few months. I was like, maybe she forgot about me. She came back around October or August, and she said, well, I found a doctor who's going to operate on you. I sent them the picture, but you'll have to relocate to Johannesburg because you're going to Helen Joseph Hospital. Then I was like, dear God, finally you are answering. I thought it was going to be just a one-time thing, perfect. My hands are going to go back to normal, because that was I was promised in hospital, that everything's going to be good. It's going to be back to normal. You're not going to have scars. Your face will be here. I was so excited. But it was just a source or a tool to make me happy and heal, because the happy soul heals very fast. I was so excited. Okay, so I found a really nice doctor, and they operated on me. I went through more than, I think, 13 or 20 surgeries, and I'm still not done. So all situations in life happen for a reason. And along my healing journey, I've been meeting different people. So although 10 children died, guys, when they said injustice does exist, it does. I've experienced it myself. So there was a court case, and then out of the blue we were told that these lawyers have made a mistake somewhere along the line and they're dropping the case, so we have to sue them. Where are we going to find money to sue these people? Anyway, they dropped the case. I remember 2011, I went to the police station. I found the captain, and I spoke to him, and he's like, well, we've buried your family members that passed away. We provided a tent. He said all these sort of things, and he said to me, well, I was sent to Mpumalanga for whatever reason. There was not any van in the police station, so we understand it was a planned accident, but then there's nothing we can do about it because this man has bodyguards within the police station. And I was very alarmed, but at the same time I was grateful that this man actually pointed out how money in our government can buy human beings, but they can never buy God, because God is the King of Kings in all departments. Things always come to light. This thing happened 10 years ago. I'm here right now telling you what happened because I was left as a witness. Okay, so I was part of an organization for burnt kids, and guys, everybody in life will come. You meet different people who want to help you, but some of them always have a motive behind it. This woman, even after we've been so much a lot of band kids, right? She still didn't care. She wanted to generate profit through our scars and our emotions. She hypnotized us, she used us, she generated so much money, like millions, to build her own empire. But along the lines also, I've met really good people through that organization. And today I'm saying she thought she won, because she was trying to get us to be as poor as possible, make us travel the world and look like the African poor children who need so much money, carrying buckets on the streets of London. And did that money come to us? No, not even a cent, because she was always able to get even the airlines to give us discounts. She never wanted to spend any cent on us, but we had to generate money for her to build her own empire. So people, you will meet different people who want to help you, but a lot of them will take advantage. So she will take a lot of pictures of our wounds, especially the like critical ones. If your hand is like that, if you have a folded ear, she'll take pictures, put on Twitter. People will see your face, they will be like, yo, I want to donate. She will say, for instance, your operation will cost 90,000 rand. People start donating a lot of money, but a lot of our operations, we're getting them at Baragwanath hospitals. It's a public hospital, we never pay anything, but she puts an impression or a picture out there for people to feel sorry for us. Instead of us encouraging us to be strong and actually taking us to good schools, she puts a picture that we needed money for our surgeries, but we never went to private hospitals. So the money that anybody donated for our operations, it went to her own pocket. So along the journey, I've traveled the world trying to empower people. I've been one of the Desmond Tutu Youth Fellows, and I was given a chance to speak and empower other people in the USA and in the UK. Although I was part of an organization that I was mistreated and mistreated other burn children that I've met, I also met other people who are now currently contributing through my studies, my accommodations, everything. Like, God has just been so great and providing. So my motivation to you today, guys, it's ensure that you actually don't have an emotional scar, because physical scars, I've realized, they're better than emotional scars. Emotional scars are so dangerous. So you need to identify what's holding you back. What obstacle are you dealing with right now? Because you need to identify it, fight it. You have the power in your mind to implement it in reality, because once you contaminate your mind with negativities and asking yourself questions like, this happened to me, that's what's going to be happening in your life. Everything you see, every corner you turn, you're gonna see negativity, you're gonna see bad things in even a good thing. For you to see light, you must create it in your mind, and you need to be a creative person of positivity. I know that life is not just about positive. It's not positive, nor is it negative, but you need to choose. Are you going to listen to a positive voice or to a negative voice? So your choices today, guys. There is no situation above you. You are capable of fighting, and keep fighting and empower other people. Stay empowered. And life with no stories, really, it's not a life. You have to go through something, and you are the chosen one. And I'm glad that I've been through this, and I'm still going through a healing journey, and I'm inviting you today to heal with me. If you're going through anything right now, identify it and let's fight together. Thank you. I found beauty in my scars. Please take ownership. Thank you. Hi guys, my name is Loide Ndemueda, and I have been through the most.